Oke, halo Alexa.
Hai Kak,
Oke, for Alexa, can you turn on the camera?
I just turned it on. Can you see it?
Oh, wait, it's still blank.
Wait, let me.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, okay, I already see
Okay,
it. Okay, good. So, how are you today?
I'm good.
Oh, okay, good then. Okay, so actually, for today, we will try to continue our lessons. But first of all, before we
Mhm.
continue, can you tell me a little bit of recap about what we already learned last week? Do you still remember it?
Yeah, we just learned about variables and also the new input function. Um, we learned and also practiced how to use the variables and how to store um data inside the variables, also using the input function to do that.
Oh, okay. So it seems that you still remember a lot of things. Okay, that's good. Okay, so actually, for today, we will try to continue our lessons. Okay, and for today, we will try to learn the new topic. I think you already familiar with this one too. It's actually called strings. Okay, so we will
Mhm.
try to learn
Okay,
about strings, but first thing first, let me prepare the slideshow first. Okay, wait a second.
okay.
Okay, so while waiting, how's actually your school today? Is it actually good?
Yeah, today has been good, although there's not a lot of stuff that we're doing anyways at
Oh,
school.
okay. So do you already see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So welcome to the next chapter of our lessons. And actually, this is the third one. And this is actually almost at the end of the first module because the first module is actually only has 4 lessons. So this is the third one.
Mm.
It's actually called strings. Okay. And yeah,
Okay.
this is actually the longest chapter on module 1. So let's try to dive in. Okay.
Mm. Okay.
Okay, I think we can actually skip the variable subject because you still remember it, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
do you need some recap?
No.
Oh, okay. So let's continue. Okay, so let's try to learn about strings. Okay, the reason why strings is gonna be a really long discussion in here for today, because yeah, the strings is actually has a lot of function that you can actually do with this data type. Because yeah, as you already know, that
Mm.
string is actually one of the data type, and this is actually the most commonly used in Python, and that's why there is a lot of function that you can actually modify the strings in whatever that you need. Okay. And you see that there is actually some of the function is already
Mm.
displayed on the screen, like determine the length of the string, and you can actually cut a part from the string, and then you can search for a mention of a word or phrase in a line, And yeah, actually the last one is actually kind of copy paste like a bug, but it's actually you can actually change the letter from the lowercase or uppercase, okay, of the strings. Okay, let's try to continue to the next slide. Okay, now let's try to continue again. Okay, now let's try to have some introduction with the first function of the strings variable, okay? The first one is actually, I don't know if you already familiar with this function or not, but it's actually called len. Do you ever heard about it?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. So it's len is actually the most common function on strings. It's actually used to know or determine the length of the strings or the sentence. Okay. So if you can see here, let's say that we have some variables
Mhm.
and we have some sentence. And if you want to know how many characters on this sentence, you can actually using len to know that. How to use it is actually just using another variable equals len, and then you can mention the variable name that contain the sentence. Okay, and then you can print,
Mhm.
and you will get the total character. Okay, so this is actually a simple one, but yeah, I will asking you the
Mhm.
common questions that I always ask to my students about this. So when I say len is actually you can use to counting the total character of this sentence, okay? Do you think it's actually just counting the letters or it's actually already include all of it?
Mm.
Or do you think it's actually just the letters or it's actually already include maybe anything like the exclamation mark or something else? Or no?
Mm. I think I think it's also with this spaces and the exclamation mark.
Okay, good. Yeah. So yeah, your answer is actually uh fantastic. It's actually correct, 100% correct. So whenever you try to counting the total character, it's not only the letters, right? Why?
Mm.
Because yeah, if you remember at the first meeting, I already say that the characters in Python is actually all of it. Okay. So the
Mm.
space is actually include and also all the details like dots, exclamation mark, question mark is actually counted as a character. So it's actually not a special case. Okay. And let's try to continue first. Okay, now we will try to have some introduction too with the index. I think you are already familiar with this one too.
Mm-hmm.
So the index is actually like a position number, like a locker room, if you know in any schools, like a
Mm-hmm.
locker room. So it's actually used to yeah make the user actually easily recognize the position of every item, or in this case, of every characters. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
as you can see, the reason why the space have index in here, here and here, and also in here, because this is actually counted as a character. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. And also the dots. And yeah, if you notice, the index is actually always start from zero. Okay. So in Python, it's not actually start from one, but it's always start from zero. But you actually count it from one. So the index start from zero, but you're counting it if from len function is actually start from one, one, two, three, and etc. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's continue again. Okay, now let's have some introduction also with this method. It's actually called slicing method. Do you ever heard about it? the slicing method?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The slicing method is actually have something to do with this one. Yeah, if you actually already learned about lists in
Mm-hmm.
another programming language, maybe you already familiar with this kind of brackets. Do
Mm-hmm.
you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So this actually gonna be related to the list subject that we will try to learn at module 6. That's
Mm-hmm.
really so far away, but yeah, there is some connection with this one. So this is actually called slicing method. There's a lot of function that you can do with this one, but the first function that you can do is actually to tracking what item on this position
Mm-hmm.
number. Okay,
Okay.
so let's see how to use it. Yep. Let's say that you have this as an example, a variable, a sentence, and let's say that you want to track what is the item on index 0. So how to use it is actually prepare a variable equals the variable that contain the sentence, okay, and then the square bracket, and then the index. And if you print it, it will print, yeah, the item on that position. You got it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I just want to ask you, let's say that you want to print or if you want to search for item at number 4. So what do you think the output is gonna be?
It's gonna be blank.
Yeah, it's gonna be blank, but it's actually not blank, right? So yeah, it's actually just something in the disguise. So it's actually not blank, but yeah, there is a character inside it. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, now let's learn about the next function of slicing method. And this is actually why it's actually called slicing, because you can actually cut, okay? You can actually cut a part of a sentence, and if you want to if you want to show some part of it, you can actually using this method. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say that from this sentence went to the boxing until dot. Let's say that you want to oh sorry. Let's say that you have a sentence went to the boxing and nice pitch. Let's say that you want to print only went to the boxing, not until the end. So how to do it? Pretty simple. You can actually using the same method with the slicing method, but this time you have to using two parameters, okay? The first one is the first index, okay? The start index, and then separate it by the column,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And then the last one is the last index, okay? The start and the finish. So if you see in here, the index 0 is actually stands for W, and the last index actually stands for the dot. So I want to ask you, when you try to using this method, and if you print it, what do you think the output is gonna be? Is it actually include with the dot or no?
Mm, I think it's going to have the dot.
Have the dot? You sure?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so yeah, the real answer is actually no. So if
Mm,
you can see in here, this is actually kind of wrong. So if you're actually using 18, okay, 0 to 18, the 18 is actually not
mm-hmm.
gonna be included. So if you actually using feedback from 0 until 18, it's actually only print from 0 until 17. So it's actually start from when until the G went to the boxing. It's actually not include
Mm-hmm.
the dot. But if you want to include the dot, you have to actually yeah just put an extra index like until 19, and then you will get the dot. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's continue. Okay, now let's learn about some of the trick from slicing method. For example, let's say that you have some sentence like this, boxing, and yeah, if you actually try to slice from index 1 until 3, yeah, you will get, if this is 0, 1, and you will get from O until X, okay? So you will not get the I. Why? Because the index 3 is actually not included, right? So you will get the O and X only. And
Mm-hmm.
if you actually make it empty from 1 until empty, it means you want to slice from index 1 until the end of the sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So you will get start from 0, start from O, and then until G, oxing. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
just want to ask you then, what is the meaning of this if it's only like this?
Mm, is it not
Or,
gonna slice anything?
sorry?
Is it not gonna slice anything?
Yeah, it's actually just you want to show from the start until the end of the sentence, basically.
Mm.
Okay, and now let's try to continue first. Okay, do you have any question
Okay.
until here?
No.
Okay, now let's go to the next function. The next function is actually a function that you can use to actually find some words inside a sentence. Let's say that you want to find some specific words inside a sentence. How do you actually use it? It's actually you can using this function, okay? Dot
Mm.
find. But I I don't know if you already learned about this or not. Do you actually learn about object-oriented programming before? You already
Yeah.
ever heard? Yeah. Do you have? Yeah, I think when you try to react like, you see that there is a dot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if someone actually already familiar with the OOP method, yeah, they will find it normal if you find something like this. But for students that are not actually familiar with programming, they will find it confusing. Why? The last function is actually not this, but this time there is a dot. So yeah, kind of
Mm-hmm.
confusing at the beginning. But yeah, it's actually this function is actually have the OOP style method of using.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it actually has a dot, because feedback in here is actually like an object, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the object and this is the function that attach to the object. So that's why. But we're gonna talk about that later at the end of the module, okay? Still so far away.
Okay.
This chapter actually has a lot of teasers to to the next modules. So yeah, this is the second function called dot find. You can actually search for something, and if you want to search for something, just mention the things inside the bracket, okay? And let's see how to use it. Yep. Okay. So let's see. If you actually try to find, let's say that you want to find avocado at this sentence, and if you find it, you will get something like this. Do you know what is the meaning of this?
Is it the start index of the word? Like
Yeah,
the
good.
A?
Mhm. So basically, the meaning of this is actually the start index of the word. Okay. So it actually stands for the A for the avocado. Okay. So something like this. And let's say that you want to find a word, but let's say that that word is actually not included in the sentence. So let's see what will happen. It will become -1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you search something and there is nothing like that, it's going to be -1. It's actually not doesn't mean anything rather than just there is no such of that word in that sentence. Okay,
Okay.
you got it? Is there any question?
No.
Not really. Okay, let's try to continue.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, let's continue again. Okay, now let's go to the next function. The next function is actually used for changing the case of the sentence. Yeah, you can actually lowercase and uppercase. At these slides, it's actually gonna be showing the lowercase only, but you can actually do both. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to lowercase, just using dot lower. And by the way, you still have to actually using the same variable. Okay, feedback equals feedback. It means
Mm-hmm.
you have to still keep it on the variable. For the lowercase, you can actually using dot lower, but for the uppercase, you can actually using dot upper. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you get it? If you're actually using it, yeah, it means you will change all the letters become lowercase. So far, so good. Is there any question?
Yeah. Yeah. So far, so good.
No. Oh, okay. Let's try to continue. Okay, now let's try to learn about some Python interpreter. Hmm. Okay, so let's learn about the interpreter. The interpreter, yeah, if you can see in here, the definition of interpreter basically just means like this is a special program that recognize and execute commands. So like any other interpreter, basically this is the same things. So if you can see in here, the interpreter is actually like you have to make a code that if you want to integrate between some strings and some integers, make sure that you are using the right operator for it. Okay, because there is some of math operator that actually cannot be used for another strings concatenation.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about concat?
Mm,
The concatenation, the the joining of, yeah, like word A from
okay.
word B.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, so something like that. Let's continue. So let's see this example. Okay, so if you can see the plus operator on Python is actually not just for math, but if you're actually using it for strings, it can also combining strings together. And if you are using the multiple symbol, rather than just do some multiplication, you can actually repeating a line several times, basically like copy paste. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or is this new for you?
I knew the plus sign, but I didn't know the multiply could do that.
Oh, okay. So this is kind of new, right? Okay. So let's continue. Something like this, for example. Great plus place, great place. Three
Mm-hmm.
times cool, 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 cool. But you see that some symbol has some restriction too. So you cannot actually using great with place and combining it with multiplication. Okay, because
Mm.
you cannot multiply anything with strings, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. So make sure that you actually know every operator's meaning for both strings and numbers. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that's it for today's theory section. Have any question?
No.
Okay. As usual, I will try to stop share and maybe I will try to give you the link. Hold on a second. Okay, you can try to download it. Okay, there you go. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, you can try to download.
Okay. Okay, then.
Okay. So if you are done, you can actually go to the Algonova platform and let's do some practice about strings. Maybe you need to
Okay.
refresh. Okay. Oh, you done? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The sad things about slicing method is actually you have to count it manually until yeah, the right one. Maybe you want to implement some trick in here about the slicing method. You just have to run the program and yeah, you can checklist if you already done. Yeah, this is actually a little bit of teaser to the new module, but okay. Do you ever heard about this?
Yes.
What do you think this is all about?
I think it's gonna be pointing at like library and like importing from
Mm-hmm.
library. Yeah.
Okay, good, good. That's actually quite true. Okay. Okay. If you're done, you can try to checklist. A little bit clue, maybe there is just four correct answers for this part. It's okay. You can continue to the second set. Yeah, it's okay. What do you think about the first one?
It was like pretty easy until the last one. I just didn't understand the wording on the
Oh,
options.
oh, it's okay. Do you need help with this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try to see what is the mistake. Okay, hold on a second. Let me check. Okay, can you open the the question bar? Okay, let's try. Hmm. Yeah, how about don't using string, just discount. Let me try to run it again.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay, wait. Yeah, the input is great. It's really correct. The total. Oh, okay. The length is good. That's correct too. 0.1 from total. Yeah, it's actually correct, but the system actually recognize it different with which is actually, mm, yeah, I think with your way it's actually already correct too. So yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to change anything. At least you already do it in a different way, but still correct. Okay. Can you stop the share screen? Okay. So what do you think, Alexa, about the strings question so far?
Yeah, it's not that difficult yet. I still can like manage, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's a great refresher because like sometimes I forget how to like what are the functions that I can use with string, especially like sometimes I get confused a lot using the slice function
Oh,
actually. Yeah. So,
okay. Yeah, so this is actually a really gentle reminder for you, right?
mhm.
Okay, good then. So yeah, it's good if we can actually try to remind you again about simple basics foundation of programming. Actually, yeah, and actually, I hope that you can actually do some practice to actually, yeah, remind you again about this foundation because yeah, sometimes a lot of projects actually need really a strong basics like this. So it's good to actually with step by step each actually we follow the instruction and the steps very well. Okay, so I think that's it for today.
Okay.
Thank you for joining, and I will see you again by the next meeting. Okay, thank you, Alexa. Bye bye.
Thank you, Kai. Bye.